What are you grateful for today? Day 9 of 10 of the Global Good News Challenge for October 2024, and I have two very special guests with me today. Who are we going to chat with now and do the Global Good News Challenge? Let's have a look, shall we? Who have we got here? Hello there.
Hello.
We've got Lynn and Sarah, of course. Now, Lynn and I are doing an amazing event on Sunday. So I was just chatting with these guys about what the Global Good News Challenge is about. It is about lifting the energy on the planet, decreasing depression and suicide rates. It's a very simple challenge. Just share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and 1 piece of good news. Now, everyone can do that, right? You're sick of all the negative news out there, then here's your way that you can be the change you wish to see in the world. So let's go to Lynn Sutherland first, our amazing filmmaker. Here she is. Hello, Lynn.
Hello, world. How are you?
Great. Love your work, Lynn. And you're editing a documentary right now. Very exciting.
This Sunday, I have like literally a day and a half to finish it. I'm just throwing stuff in it now because I'm revamping a documentary that I did a few years ago. So.
Yay. Very cool.
Just wait.
I can't wait to see it. I know you've been working really long hours. So the format is, of course, you share your name. Now we know, well, not everyone will know your name. So your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news.
All right. My name's Lynn Sutherland.
What you do?
What do I do? Well, I'm a TV producer. I make environmental documentaries and I work for the planet. That's my philosophy.
Beautiful.
She looks after my back and I look after hers. What am I grateful for? I mean, I live on an amazing planet, number 1.
Yes.
Second, well, you get to enjoy incredible sunsets like this that we have right at our back door and live amongst nature. I'm super grateful for that because that tree there has lorikeets and everything in it.
Oh, so beautiful. And that sunset's gorgeous.
And one more, and the sunset,
Yes.
So all that, and I get black cockatoos even in my yard, so it's a pretty special piece of paradise. And I'm absolutely, the third thing I'm grateful for is hanging around incredible people like we are, trying to stop this incredible toxic ant program and make a difference in this world because we love our nature. So they're the 3 things I'm grateful for. And
beautiful. And your good news? What's your good news today?
My good news is I'm pregnant. No, just kidding.
Ah!
No, my good news is that we get to have our event on Sunday.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm nearly finished the documentary, so that's great news.
Yes. And what have we got coming up on Sunday? Could you share a bit about that?
Well, we've got an event to stop the toxic fire ant program because they want to poison every part of the Gold Coast and Brisbane area and not miss a square inch. And I just think that's insane. They're targeting one ant, so they're killing everything in its path. So that's just nuts to me. So we've got an amazing community that, pets have got sick, people have got sick, and we're prepared to fight this incredible place that we live. So the event will be great because if I finish my film, which I'm going to do, it'll show on the night. And then we'll be calling community to come together and, arming people with what they can do and see if we can make a difference.
Yeah, brilliant.
What we're fighting for, hey Sarah? And Sarah's a massive part of this as well.
Yes, she is. Before we come to Sarah though, I just want to share with those who don't know how Lynn and I managed to reconnect because we actually knew each other for about 10 years ago. She came to a few of the animal action events that I was running way back in the day, and I was chatting with Simon Mulvaney from Save the Bees Australia about putting an event on. I said, I want to put this animal action night for bees on, and I want to say, raise some funds for the bees, etc. And he started to tell me about the fire ant program, and he said, you should connect with a lady called Lynn. And I wrote down Lynn, L-Y-N, thinking, who's this Lynn person, right? And then he sent me her profile on Facebook, and sure enough, it's Lynn Sutherland. I know Lynn. And anyway, so we chatted, and I was going to put on an event in Narang. I didn't hear back from the people in Narang. Then we put our minds together and thought, okay, let's do this event. Let's call it, we actually had a different name for it. We changed it to Stop Toxic Fire Ant Program. Very clear. We had fire ant poisoning concerns before, and people got confused because the government is saying that the fire ant actually gives out the poison, and so people were getting very confused with that title, so we changed it. And in fact, where that name actually founded, that's where I'm going to come to Sarah now, because she's the lady who actually put this together with Simon Mulvaney, who's actually in town coming on Sunday from Save the Bees Australia, and we are doing a fundraiser for them as well. So Sarah, over to you, if you could share your name, what you do, and 3 things you're grateful for firstly.
Okay, I'm Sarah Maguire. I'm actually an accountant and a piano teacher, but I'm now campaigning for Stop the Toxic Fire Ant program. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the moment, mainly campaigning. I'm grateful. Do you want me to go on to...
Well, actually, I'd love to know how you came about, because we're talking about the title Stop the Toxic Fire Ant Program, and how you came about that. And you're saying you and Simon were brainstorming some ideas, and why you even got into being interested about the fire ants and what the government's doing.
Yeah, well, I live in Samford Valley, north of Brisbane, and we got some brochures one day saying we're going to be coming to your property to poison it for fire ants. And I thought, we don't even have fire ants. I've never even seen a fire ant. I've lived here 20 years. And then I read further on, and it said, we're going to poison your place even without your consent. So that just was a big red flag for me. I just went, no way. And then in May, I got in touch with Save the Bees, Simon, because I saw that he had been at the Senate inquiry, and I thought maybe he can help me work out how to stop this. And that's when we started working together. And then shortly after that, Samford got poisoned, our creek got poisoned. The program admitted they put the wrong chemical in our creek, so that was when we got a lot of footage and ended up on media. So
and you had the water tested there, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was very high levels of pyriproxyfen, which is a chemical they shouldn't put in the creek. And the program a few days later admitted they'd done the wrong thing and they'd made a mistake. So since then we've been campaigning tirelessly to expose what is going on here, which is really a mass poisoning program.
Yeah, it's absolutely Australian government poisoning Australia program, I call it. But they call it the Fire Ant Eradication Program. That's their name for it. But we know they are poisoning Australia. And I am shocked how many animals have been dying, calves being born deformed. What have you been seeing in the animal sphere there?
Yeah, well, shortly after Samford, they poisoned a couple of creeks. We found dead lizards, or very sick lizards actually, dead birds, sick horses, sick dogs. There's been dead dogs as well at the Gold Coast. It's just been horrendous. Dead bees, lots of dead bees, which is really concerning, which is why, Save the Bees is involved.
Yeah, now on the point of bees, now I've lived on the Gold Coast for 24 years, and I recently, the last few months, I have seen dead bees along the beach. I have never seen dead bees along. What are bees even doing on the beach? But of course, because they've been helicopter spraying poison everywhere, the bees are probably flying through with the wind or whatever, or trying to get away from the poison, and unfortunately a lot of them are dead along the beach, which is absolutely horrible. And without the bees, of course, we have no food, right?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Which means that the people behind this, there's other agendas at play here, I believe. They want to control the food supplies, they want to control the water supplies, or they want to depopulate us, and maybe a combination of all of those things above, because these poisons actually affect your reproductive systems as well, don't they?
Yeah, from what we understand, they're endocrine disruptors, which make the ants infertile, and these are definitely things we don't want our children exposed to, we don't want ourselves exposed to. And I don't want mandated poisons on my property. I choose to live an organic lifestyle, toxin-free, and now I'm being told my own private property, I have no rights as to whether I use pesticides or not, and I don't use any pesticides, so this is not on.
No.
And we're pursuing legal avenues. We've formed this group, Stop the Toxic Fire Ant Program, and we are gaining traction because even politicians are starting to show interest. I had a meeting with Peter Dutton 2 days ago. He's our local federal member for Samford. He's expressed concerns and seems to share our concerns for this. And so we're hoping we will see some help soon. Malcolm Roberts has also been helping us, with this campaign. He's run a couple of talks already. Stephen Andrew from Morani, who's standing for the Qatar Party, he's going to be tabling a petition for us to Parliament. So we're seeing some traction with this.
And you had some media spots you were talking about last night Interesting. Media, how media were at the start of this and how media are now. Can you share your experience? Which media actually reported and what happened after that?
Yeah, I first got invited to speak on the ABC radio, 612 ABC with Steve Austin, and they were very concerned about the contamination of our creeks, because the contamination levels weren't just a small amount of pollution, it was significant amounts of contamination. The report said alarmingly high levels of pyriproxyfen in our creek, which was a serious contamination event that could significantly impact fish populations. So, I mean, that's pretty serious. The levels of pyriproxyfen was 81 micrograms per litre, and the upper limit should be 0.04.
Wow. Wow, that's horrible. And the media was supportive, and now they're just not so supportive, it seems.
Yeah, then I was invited on 612 again because we were serving Mark Ferner, the Minister of Agriculture, with a letter of demand, which is still being finely tuned. But and then I was invited to speak on 4BC twice, and they were all very supportive of our concerns. And then it kind of turned when I spoke at a rally in Brisbane. I was invited along as a guest speaker to speak at the TPR rally. There was myself and another lady who's a highly qualified scientist, Dr. Connie Turney. We both spoke at this rally, and then there was this ABC journalist there called Kenji Sato, and he asked to interview me after that rally, and he asked me what my thoughts were on microcephaly, which is something pyriproxyfen was linked to many years ago, causing deformities in babies' brains, and they linked it to the Zika virus. But there was a study done many years ago that showed it could possibly be linked to the pyriproxyfen in their drinking water. This is in Brazil. And I never even mentioned that in my rally speak because I know it's quite contentious. They've tried to discredit that study, even though there's still some evidence that, you know, it could be possible. But I actually chose not to speak about it, and then this guy ran a complete hit piece on me, saying that I thought fire ant baits were causing these deformities in babies' brains, which I never ever said. I never even mentioned microcephaly. So I've taken it to the Ombudsman with the ABC because, you know, it's just unacceptable to have your character smeared in that way when, you know, I never even said it.
Yes, what happened to accurate reporting in the media? Very interesting. And, you know, I was speaking to one media organisation today, and they said, oh, they need to pass everything by council to check all the facts before they put anything in their bulletins. I thought, what? I thought, are you guys funded by council or something? Anyway, apparently they're not. But when it comes to fire ants, people tend to trust the authorities, don't they? Or when it comes to anything with government, people tend, because this is how we've been brought up. Yeah. We've been brought up to trust authorities. So with all that said, now there's always, you know, something we can be grateful for with all of this, right? Now, there's always going to be crap going on in the world. There's always, you know, since the beginning of time, there's always been evil people behind certain things that have happened in the world. And at the same time, there's also been amazing people doing fantastic things, helping the community, you know, our spirit warriors out there. So what, with all this has happened with you or for you in some way or another, we never always know why things happen for us. But I do believe that there's a reason that we, you know, come across certain circumstances, or, you know, and Sarah's been brave enough to speak up. So with that, there has to be some things we can be grateful for. So what are some things with all of this that you can be grateful for today in line with the Global Good News Challenge? Say 3 things that you can be grateful for out of all of this, or anything else.
Well, the first thing is my wonderful Sanford community. They have really rallied around. They have supported me even with the negative ABC article. My community, even on my online, our online community group, all just came to my defence, and that was really wonderful to see that there are, you know, really genuine people that care about our environment and for what we're doing here with this campaign. I'm also grateful for Save the Bees and Simon for helping me with this campaign, because well, he set it up really, and I have been kind of helping, but I'm very grateful for his support and his guidance with doing this sort of thing, because I mean I'm just you know, a mum of 2 kids, a piano teacher and accountant, and I've never done anything like this before, so you know, having stuff like social media is all new to me, so I'm grateful for that, and finally I'm grateful for just being here at the Gold Coast in Currumbin, and for the event we had last night with all the amazing people here and the support. You really do have a wonderful community here. I mean, that event was probably the busiest one we've had so far, and it was the longest one we've had so far, and I'm super grateful for all those things.
Yeah, it went till nearly midnight. I left about midnight, started at 6 p.m. and went right through, so it was amazing, and it was engaging the whole way. I love last night, so hats off to Peter and everyone who organised that last night. It was amazing, all the speakers and everything brought together for that. It was really informative. Really, what are some things you got from last night?
Just how many people are willing to stand up to this, and it was so heartening to see how many people were really engaged and really wanting to know more information, and all the information that was shared amongst the participants and all the speakers we had there. It was a really informative and wonderful event. Yeah,
it was, absolutely. And what's your good news today? Thank you for all those gratitudes. What's some good news you can share?
Well, the good news was that yesterday, one of the ladies I'm working very closely with, Katarzyna, on this whole program, on this campaign, she was visited yesterday by the fire ant people.
Yes.
And she negotiated, well, not negotiated, she stood her ground. She said, I do not consent. I have a reasonable excuse. I'm seeking legal advice. I have a legal letter of demand. And as much as they tried to bully her, she kept them off her property. And that was one of the best pieces of news we've had in a long time, because we've just been hearing that there's been all this bullying and police presence threatening to fine people. None of that's happened to her. She's got them off her property. You just got to stand strong and say no.
Yeah, and there was another lady that was 9 months pregnant also that stood her ground. Yeah, good on her. And she didn't consent either. So there's quite a few there now that are just not consenting. And that's the thing. Stand your ground, as you say. Get informed, get empowered. Now, how can people support you, Sarah?
It's really important that we have 2 petitions. We have a change.org, and it's really important as well to sign our new Queensland parliamentary petition.
Yes.
And actually, people need to know that children can sign that one. You don't have to be 18, so anyone under 18, so please get your kids to sign our parliamentary petition. We have a crowdfunding campaign with chuff.org. All those details are available. There's a noisy bird.
Yeah.
All those details are available on our Facebook group and our Facebook page and our website, which is stopthetoxicfireantprogram.org. That's our website. Join the Facebook group. We got to show there's big numbers here that's supporting this campaign.
Well done, Sarah. You've done amazing work, real inspiration. Keep up the great work. Love what you're doing. Anything else you want to share?
Just thanks to everyone for all your support, and it's very important we just say no to mandated poisoning of our land. It is not acceptable. No mandates for any chemical treatments are acceptable.
Yeah, it was interesting last night too. They were saying that the chemical doesn't break down, so do you know much about that side of it?
Yeah, I've looked at all the studies. I've researched it thoroughly. These chemicals, they say they only last for 24 hours, but what that means is they're only viable to killing ants for 24 hours. After that, it then the chemical breaks down into something called metabolites. And metabolites is a different type of chemical that can possibly even be more toxic than the original chemical. And we have studies that shows it can live in soil for up to 700 days.
Wow. Wow. Gosh. Okay, yes. So again, get informed, because what you're hearing from the government and from the media in general mostly is not true. Okay, so always question everything. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for being a Good News Crusader today. It's been great to chat with you, and we'll be chatting some more soon as well. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, thank you. And I'm just going to show you this beautiful sunset for all those joiners. Look at this, and the birds, these noisy birds up there in this big tree. And I love hearing birds. I must say, it's kind of like a meditation, isn't it, Sarah? Look, there's one right behind you there too. The little one there. Hello there, little. I always say little chickens, but they're not chickens, of course. There's a big one up there. What's that? Is that a black cockatoo? I think it's a cockatoo, is it? Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. It is. It's a little black cockatoo. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is Lynn's amazing place in Currumbin. And we are very excited about our event on Sunday. So my good news challenge now, we've heard from Lynn Sutherland and Sarah Maguire, two amazing crusaders to help stop the toxic fire ant program that's being rolled out by the Australian government, which actually they're putting $1.2 billion into it and $10 million into advertising to brainwash people into why it's a good idea. But we have seen a lot of evidence of a lot of damage, unfortunately, for the environment, and it's killing a lot of animals. And of course, the helicopter spraying has been going over people's houses, of course, into water supplies, into water tanks. So you've got to question what's that going to do for people as well. It's actually poisoning people as well. Or for people who eat any animals that might be poisoned as well, then there's going to be, you know, more toxicity levels there. Here's the environment from this part of the yard. There's a cockatoo. Just went over there. Isn't that lovely? So beautiful. At sunset, I love hearing the birds at sunset. There we go. Hello there. Coming up to say hello. Beautiful. Currumbin's such a nice area, and this is an area they've actually been spraying through Currumbin. It's one of the nicest parts of the Gold Coast, and horrible what they've been doing in these areas. And the fire ants aren't even in heavy canopy areas. They're usually found in areas where the soil has been toiled, in areas of development, which is why they found a lot in Logan apparently. Because, you know, a lot of development over there, and, you know, you can see massive mounds, so you would know if fire ants are on your property. But the government is actually sending people poison now in the mail, and they're saying you should put this poison in your yard even when there's no evidence of fire ants. And so here's what they've been sending to people. This is what they sent to a girlfriend up in Coomera. This poison here, have a look at this. This poison, and this is the brochure that they have been sending people, how to use your fire ant products. Look at this, and this one, and look at this. It says you should apply the product even if fire ants are not visible, as they could be under the ground or on a nearby property. And then the other side of it gives you all the steps. Now, you know, the thing is, if you put this in your yard, you put this stuff in your yard, which just looks like a vitamin container. So really, any kid could pick this up thinking it's food. You know, I mean, it's probably going to poison kids, I'd imagine, at people's homes. You put this in your yard and your dog dies, it's your responsibility because you've now put the poison in your yard. And, you know, if you don't get informed about that, and then, you know, don't complain if your pets die, or if other, you know, as one person was sharing about how the poison went down, all these birds came and ate the poison, next day all the birds dead on her yard. Is it coincidence? I don't think so. So, interesting times that we are in. So, my good news challenge for today. So, again, the format is sharing your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and your good news. So, here's mine. Hi, I'm Aldwyn, also known as the Media Queen. What I do is I help people package up their genius, be seen, heard, and known through mass media exposure. 3 things I'm grateful for today is I'm grateful for Lynn Sutherland. We're doing a fantastic event on Sunday. So excited to reconnect with her. She's such a champion of a human being and amazing filmmaker. Can't wait to see how she's edited Pulse of Life. She's doing this re-edit, and so grateful to reconnect with her and do this event on Sunday. Grateful for Sarah Maguire, we just heard from, of course. She's another amazing lady who's stepping up and speaking out and you know, making a change by actually speaking up. You know, so many people don't have the courage to speak up. I'm grateful for this beautiful sunset coming on right now. Here is getting better by the minute. By the minute. Look how gorgeous it is out here. So grounding being here. And it's not far from the ocean either, which is really nice. The birds are all saying hello. Hello there. Hello there. They all want to join in the Good News Challenge. Oh, there they go. They're so cute, the cockatoos. They're so beautiful. Look at them. Oh, I'm grateful for the cockatoos. I'm grateful for nature. I'm grateful for trees. Oh, isn't nature just extraordinary? And we definitely want to be protecting this for future generations. Otherwise, you know, if we don't do something now, then it's just going to be wasteland like we see in the movies, potentially, right? If we don't do something to protect the environment, we know what damage human beings have already done to the planet. And of course, it'll keep happening if we don't do something about it. I mean, it is quite unbelievable to think the government's doing this. It is quite unbelievable. But then look what happened through, you know, the pandemic. Look what happened there. You know, they created a problem that didn't exist and created the treatment for the problem. And with that treatment, a lot of people got sick, a lot of people died, a lot of people lost their jobs. We saw 4 times the suicide rates worldwide. And some people woke up to what was going on, depopulation agenda, etc. Some people woke up to it. Some people didn't, and everyone's on their own journey, right? So, you know, all we can do is share what we know and respect other people's opinions. However, I do always invite people to question everything. And there's a great documentary, if you haven't seen it, Out of Shadows. The very first line is, why do you believe what you believe? Why do you believe what you believe? And it's a great question to ask, because we have been programmed through the media programs. We've been programmed. We've had channeling going on through the media channels for years. We've been brought up to believe and trust our elders, the education system, do as we're told, do the right thing, all that, right? We've been taught to do that. Oh, see you, Lynn. Lynn's going. Bye, Lynn. Bye. See you, Lynn. Lynn's off. We'll wrap up shortly. So, yes, we've been taught to believe it. So anyway, if you want to see Out of Shadows, go to Conscious Community Global, my Facebook group, and you'll see it pinned in the top there. You'll see a link to it. It was taken off it had like 10 million views in a month when it came out in June 2020. It got taken off a whole lot of platforms. And now you'll find a Vimeo link in there that you can still view, and it's a must-see. It's featured at the top of Conscious Community Global Facebook group, which you'll find in my linktree /Aldwyn, which has all my links. You'll see that link in my bio. And also, the good news, of course, is Sunday we have our Stop Toxic Fire Ant program event. I'm teaming it up with making it like a 18th annual animal action event as well. So it is an animal action night for bees as well. We are raising funds for Save the Bees Australia. We've got thousands of dollars worth of raffle prizes. We've got donations at the door, although it is free entry. So if you're challenged financially, just come along, get informed. And if you have got some spare change, you know, and you can help out with Save the Bees Australia, that would be amazing as well. And we're going to have core flutes there where you can get no trespass signs you can pick up on the day as well. Some other good news. And there's also some signs you can put up on your door saying no poison. Okay, we do not consent. We've got stickers there that you can take. I've got stickers all over my car. There's Lynn. Off she goes. Lynn's off. There she is. Going off and away, going to dinner. And I'm going to have a chat with Sarah in a minute. We're going to do a more in-depth interview in just a moment. Look at this beautiful sunset. Gosh, spectacular part of the world. So that's the good news. Come along and join. It's going to be 4 o'clock Sunday at Currumbin RSL. Thank you to all of our media supporters. There are great people in the media. They're not all dodgy, you know, and you know, they're great journalists, but unfortunately, you know, it's the people that run the media organisations, unfortunately, often censor what can be said, and they have their biases, right? Everyone has their biases. So sometimes you have one great journalist at a media outlet and you speak to someone else and they're just not aligned, you know, so that happens. You know, it's meant to be objective, they're meant to not take sides, etc., but of course they do, because they all have their individual opinions on what's going on, and they slant that with their stories. You know, having worked in the media for 20 years, I saw that firsthand. So anyway, good news. It's going to be amazing. Come along. We've got a whole amazing panel of speakers. We're going to see Lynn's edit for Sunday. She's editing her Pulse of Life documentary. Can't wait to see it. I've seen a little snippet and it looks amazing. So you're going to love that. And then for those who want to hang back after 7:30, we're going to be, having dinner at the venue and some drinks and some, networking and connection there. So come and join us afterwards if you'd like to. All right, that's a wrap on the Global Good News Challenge, day 9 of 10 of my Global Good News Challenge. Of course, with the challenge, you miss a day, you go back to day 1 and start again. Check out the Global Good News Challenge Facebook page for all the details on how to participate. It's pinned to the top of the page. And let us know, what are you grateful for today? Good to see you, Robert Mull, Sharon, Camillo, Madison, Melissa, good to see you. Hello, hello. What are you grateful for today? Love to hear from you. Sending you much love today. Let's stay connected, and hopefully we'll see some of you on Sunday as well. Remember to register in Humanitics, okay? So check my link tree out for that link as well. Register so that you can come along. We've got over 100 people already registered. So it's going to be a really cool event, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of last minute people as well, as often happens on the Gold Coast, but see how you go. And if you can join us, that'd be amazing. I'm sure the people that are coming, you're going to learn so much. It's going to blow your mind. And we want it to be a positive thing, even though some of this is a bit of a heavy subject, but if you don't get informed, you're not empowered, and then you just believe the BS. Right? Someone else's belief systems, right? You just believe it if you don't question it. So question everything, come along, get informed, get empowered. We'll see you there on Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. See you. Oh, the sun set quickly before I go. Look at it, it's changing rapidly. These beautiful trees. So nice, so peaceful. And there you have it. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.